That's right, folks. It is showtime, and it is the experimental show, which is pretty cool, and I'm excited. You can tell I'm smiling because we got some pretty cool things lined up for today, and some pretty cool future ideas. We always got something cool going on. It's pretty sweet. Pretty cool to see that a couple shows ago, I think we had like 17,000 views on the experimental show. That was pretty cool, but it's all pretty cool. And folks, this is the table over 8 shows. This is show number 8. This is the table of experimental pieces that my mom, Michelle, and I have put together and created throughout an 8-week span. Just some pretty crazy looking pieces. This actually morphed into an award that we did, 5 awards that we're putting together, some other samples. They actually turned out really cool, but they're over there, so I'm not going to show you the finished product just yet. But various other really cool sculptures, cane work, totally watery, juicy, delicious things. And it's kind of what it's all about. We got feathers, we got candy cane, we got marini. You may not know what any of that means, but that's what this is all about, folks. We love showing the craft of glass blowing. We love talking about how things get done in the hot shop. We love answering questions. We love seeing who's interested in glass blowing. So if you do have questions and you want to know something, that's a really beautiful thing. A pretty cool example just to show you here is, I know you just panned over these canes. You give it one more pass and then pan over to this giant piece right here. This was a piece of cane. We were doing this live actually, both the size of both of my hands. And this is how you make cane. You layer thick chunks of color, inside clear, and you pull it out like literally 20, 30, 40 feet long, twisting it, and that's how you make these different candy cane colors. And this one was so heavy, it's never ever happened before, but it actually busted and broke the pipe, and it just fell onto the table, and we just watched it sink into a giant boxing mitt glove, and it was ridiculous. So that was pretty mind-blowing. We saw that on our VIP pumpkin show a couple Sundays ago, and that went really well, and people saw some pretty crazy things. We also blew glass into a jack-o'-lantern and then torched him in the furnace, and that was a good smelling scenario. But come on into the shop, folks. This is the Glass Academy. It's a family-run business in Dearborn, Michigan. This is Michelle over here, co-owner, and you got Chris in the back here, and Sam as well is going to be helping us with some, Sam? Yep. Yes, with us some tech support today. So, without further ado, I went over the experimental show. I guess we can just explain briefly what that's about, which means we've got a show where we do custom orders, The Gathering Point, every Tuesday night. It's a 2-hour show, and it's super regimented, and we make super crazy, one-of-a-kind custom orders and pieces for people all around the world. Thursdays is experimental. We don't take orders. We got no specific time. We open the show up when we get to it, and we get crazy and do some cool things.
I'm going to unmute myself.
She's unmuted.
Experimental show is also where we experiment, so we might not describe everything as well. We might not talk about all the steps because our brain is deep in process.
Yeah, but we do love that you all are still commenting, and I see some really deep and beautiful conversations about glass and about what the options are, what we could do, opinions on the pieces we're making. We love all that, and if you put it in the comment section while you're watching us or down the line, if you watch it a week from now, that's cool too, and it helps us grow as a company as well.
Are you going to draw out your squid?
I'm going to draw it out, and I'm going to show a picture on my phone. Thanks for revealing what I'm making.
Oh,
but
I thought they knew.
I'm going to be making a squid today, folks. The first ever squid. And I don't know why, but it just came up in my brain, and I want to make it because I'll show you the color in a second, but that's the picture I'm going off of. And we've all seen a squid in our day when we were swimming around in Florida and whatnot, and it rubs up on your leg, and it's all weird and slimy. Oh yeah, that's a jellyfish. But I'm going to be making a squid, and I'm actually not going to draw it up because that's the drawing right there, but I do want you to take a look at this dichroic color I bought as a sample a while ago, and I don't know how well that shows on the camera, but it's clear and it's got like a rainbow mirror effect in the glass. It's a very expensive color, and I bought it one time for one project, and it's been sitting in my desk for quite a while, so I want to use that as part of this white squid. And it's going to be cool. It's going to have texture, it's going to have some color accents, and it's going to be a one-of-a-kinder. So that's the plan. We got Brandon here working with us today as well. He's going to be assisting me on this piece, and we're going to be doing it together. And so I'm going to be kind of coaching him. He's still relatively new to what glass blowing is all about, so that helps in the explanation when I'm not answering questions per se that I see on the Facebook or YouTube comment section. I'll be talking to him, and hopefully some of the explanations that we have between each other will answer some of your questions out there, and we'll get it going. So I'm going to put this color out here. I got to think about how I want to do it, and I think I've got an idea. I might actually draw this up right now just to explain to Brandon how it's going to go down, and kind of just to confirm for myself the way this piece is going to be created. Look at that color. That is like some confetti blingin' deliciousness. So then over to the chalk area. My favorite piece of chalk has disappeared. There it is. Zach, could you toss me that right there? That's right, folks. We got Zachary Lehman on the camera. Look at that. He's a natural athlete. He's doing a steady hand for us. And there is the ladder.
What are we going to do with this?
I don't know. You guys are going to see what Michelle's doing after I go. But so here's the picture. Let's see. So the way we're going to do it is I'm going to blow out a shape like this. This is going to be the body of it. This is going to be a bubble coming off of the pipe. The pipe will be right here. That's the pipe. And what's going to happen next? We're going to add these two fins on right here. Oh, I see. I started it backwards. We don't want that drawing around anymore. Look at this technique.
You didn't know this?
Watch out.
This is how you erase chalk.
All right, a nice clean slate, folks. So actually the pipe's going to start here. We're going to blow out this bubble. We're going to have two bits brought over, probably like this big. And we're going to put them right here and sculpt out these fins. These are the back fins. Boom, boom. Then we're going to give this a little curve and fold it towards us a little bit and put a little Maurice on the back side, a little platform so we can punny it up, and we're going to flip it around. So then we will eventually apply a pipe right here, and then we'll have this shape on the end of the pipe here. So that means the tail's completed. I'll have some texture, a little bit of extra white spots here as kind of like the spine of the squid. And then we will start to create from here all these crazy tentacles. This is his head right here like this. And we're going to put one eye there and one eye back there. And then these tentacles are going to come out like this. Those are the legs. Oh, so yeah. Brandon's asking, what's the plan for the legs? Those will all be individual bits. So we're going to do one big glob here first. I'll round it out nice and smooth. We're going to have to put up two Marini eyes in the garage so we can stick those on either side for the eyeballs. And then these will just be individual, like one big gather, one coat of color, marver it straight, stick it on, and cut it off. And we'll kind of just take it as we go. We got no rush here, so we're just going to kind of take things as they come. But that's obviously going to be to scale. It's going to be about a 6-foot squid. It's no big deal. But yeah, let's do it. All right, any questions out there, folks? Put them in the chat. A lot of our amazing followers do answer questions for us. They've been watching the show. Our Gathering Point shows on this past Tuesday was show 133, episode 133, if you will. So we've got a lot of content out there, and a lot of people have been learning a lot about the craft, and that's what it's all about. So if you have questions, don't be bashful about it. If you're just watching from afar, that's cool too, but spread the love and show it to your friends and put it on your feed and do all that business for us. So we got our two whites out here, and these are the colors we're going to be using. If you take a zoom on them, I got two different sizes of white. And tin, you add tin to the glass and you melt it down at 2,000 degrees, and it changes the glass to the color of white. So that just is silica sand and tin and a couple other materials in there, but anything other than earthly metals and materials burns away in the glass. So it's pretty cool that the earth creates the entire rainbow of color for us, and we're going to be using just the basics, white with some rainbow metallic looking frit. Big time. I'm going to start with a blowpipe. I'm going to gather up some clear glass here. The glass is 2,100 degrees, and when I go into the furnace here, this furnace cooks 365 days a year with glass in it. It takes too long to cool down and too long to bring back up the temperature to shut it off at any point, really, unless there's a problem with it. So we got a pot of about 200 pounds of glass in here, and I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm just going to keep a nice small gather here and not push ourselves to the absolute max. There's our glass. And you see how it moves. If I stop turning the pipe, it would fall right off onto the floor. But I'm going to heat it up over here, and I'm going to put some color onto the outside. And that frit, that white frit right there, sticks to the glass. It's so thin that when you touch it with molten glass, it's got to be at this temperature, it will immediately heat it up, and it will gather it up onto the surface. And then I can reheat it one more time and melt it into the surface, and it becomes all one smooth, beautiful scenario. And because I want it to be a pretty prominent white, I don't want it to bleed through it all and have clear spots, I'm going to do probably 2 or 3 good coats of color on here. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day out there. Michelle is training over there, so we don't have any back and forth commentary, but she'll be joining us soon enough. And if you got questions at all too, they can hear through the mic for sure. So that's 3 coats. I'm gonna do 1 more because what the heck, if it turns out to be a beautiful squid, better not skimp on the color. That's the most expensive thing in glass blowing, folks, is the glass color. And I just put another order in today. I did 1 each month now for the past 3 months, and it just keeps going up in price, and it's expensive. That's all I can say. I always feel a little weird talking about actual numbers for whatever reason. It sounds a little personal, but I promise you it's more than you would expect. That and the gas and electric bill around here. Glass blowing is not a cheap thing to make. So here I'm blowing air into the glass. It's expanding it from the inside through the pipe. My breath's expanding right now from the heat of the glass, and it blows out the bubble. And I want this to be a bubble because I want it to not be too heavy. I'm going to pull it out real thin and kind of make it like a spire right now. And I'll probably take a little bench blow from you. So I give it a little swing. I'm using centripetal force to pull that out. And I want this to be the tail, so I'm actually going to, first I'm going to do it like this, so the thickness falls to the bottom. Hello? Good. Beautiful. It's honestly perfect. That's the right size too. It's going to be a little bigger than I had dreamt about, but that's all right. So now we're going to do 2 white bits like that big. And we're going to add 1 glob right here and 1 glob right here. And I'm going to use the flat crimps. You want to show that picture one more time there on the floor, Zach? You see those 2 kind of wings you got going on there? I'm going to use the flat crimps to squeeze that round application of color down to a nice flat spot and shape it up like so. Close that so my phone doesn't die. My phone is from 1980, so it's beautiful. No Marva first. Just keep it nice and hot, right into the color, yep. You probably like 3 coats. All right. So this is the first of where Brandon and I are going to start working together. Glass blowing, you have to have at least 2 people doing any kind of job. I can't hold this mass right here and then grab another pipe and shape up and put color on this additive piece of glass here. So we're working together on this piece for sure. And that's everything. If you guys go to glassacademy.com, if you check out our website, if you check out or want to purchase anything that we sell, which is a lot of different things, it's all handmade by us, and it's always in teams of 2, where it's a team effort of maybe 3 or maybe like 12, because we got a marketing team, we got all kinds of stuff happening behind the scenes. That's super important. Beautiful. Yeah, just bring the soup. I'm thinking about how I want to stick this on here. I know what I want to do. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to think about the shape. If it's triangular.
What if you squished it like you did the Leafs and then you just cut it with a pair of shears?
I'm going to give it the flat squish. I'm trying to think about that angle, and I think I can take this and push this in there to make it that triangle flat side maybe.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay, let's do it. Let's see. Will you shape it up? Will you give it a little back end roll and try and round it out a little bit? It's got a little bit of a tip on it right now, so I wanted to have the thickest part be what comes off first. Beautiful. And then that low angle, sweet. And get that screaming again. When we say screaming, we're talking the difference of like probably 500 degrees. So that was, by the time he came off the table, it was probably like 1600. It was still moving, it was still hot. We want it to be up near 2000, where it's kind of dripping off of the pipe. And then when it comes down to like 1200, this is rock solid right now. Let's do it. Beautiful. It's perfect. And we'll take one more. Same thing. Nah, you could gather a new one up. That went on pretty good. Went on really good. And I think I know how I can shape it up here to complete that nice little curvature in the tail. I'm gonna flatten this side like these. I'm going to pull this out a little bit like that. I think that does it right there. So that's the first wing. I'm going to make a matching one on the other side. You got to be careful with the color too, especially whites will actually burn out. So I want to be very aware I don't overheat the white when I go back in after that, because I can see kind of on the edge here has a little bit of a opaline, opalescent look to it, which means the color is kind of burning out.
It's a good shape too.
Yeah. Little tweezer pull on the edge. He's going 3 coats. Brandon knows what he did on the first one. He's matching that for the second one. It's super important as the assistant to be thinking about color and presenting the same. Is this the one? I'm ready. Nice. Lift up a little. Mm-hmm. Fin number 2. Now what I don't know is where these fins are gonna go, or where this squid's gonna go, or how it's gonna be. Do I put it on a piece of wood? Do I let it just sit on my desk? Don't know the answer to that yet, folks.
I think if you can tell what something is without being told, then you did a good job.
That's true. I'll take it. If people look at it and they're like, it's a squid, 100%. So to clean this up a little bit and give it the angle that we're talking about so we can flip it around and punny it up on the opposite side, it's going to become an asymmetrical piece here. So I'm going to heat up just the bottom of the tail, and I'm going to pull it out thinner and smooth it out and kind of melt some of these fins in together. But I'm also going to bend it one way so that it has an angle, and so we can attach another rod directly in line with the rod I've got right now and flip this piece around. Watch this move. That's good, but I want to heat it up deeper. Only the tip was pulling out. I want those fins to really kind of glide into that bottom tail. And by doing that, to aid with that, I'm going to hold it upside down so gravity is pulling the fins down with it as I pull. Here we go. See that? Then I do one of these. This is that bend I'm talking about. So now he's a little bit off center, and now we can put a pipe right there and flip him around.
Do you want a white bit so you don't take the color off? I mean a clear bit?
Yes, we're gonna put a Maurice on it. So pretty much a punny size, a little bit bigger, so we can put a little stickum bit, and I'll cut it with the diamonds and flatten it out, and then you can shape that up into the punny.
I like that you didn't do this jumbo size.
Me too. Me too.
You did it like a functioning
actual size.
And so are we bringing many tentacles, or are you cutting?
We're gonna do quite a few. We're gonna see kind of how it's coming off, but yeah, quite a few.
Are the tentacles clear or white?
I was kind of deciding, oh boy, I forgot something else I want to do. I'll flip it around and do it. Nope, just bring it right over. Put that right there, and then you can, I'll flatten that down, and then that's going to be the platform to stick that pipe onto. Now Brandon has been out of work here for the last week and a half, so he is what they call jumping back into it here. Cold fingers, but it's looking good. It's looking real good. That's good. Let me give it one more swipe on the Marv from a high angle all the way down. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's do it. Here comes the flip around, folks. So give me a little bit of angle with the back end up. Yep. Maybe a hair more. That's just a ridiculously perfect connection. Okay, and I'm gonna do this, a little bit of water. Here it comes, Brandon. Beautiful. To the hole with it. Awesome. If you guys look really close, thank you. You can see Brandon's got his white shoes on today, some brand new shoes. That's a beautiful thing in the hot shop, folks. We teach a lot of classes around here, and I love to call people out when they come in with some white, brand new white Converse. They're like, I'm gonna blow glass today. I'm just like, what do you mean? Okay, so this is looking great. I'm gonna have to worry about the tail and make sure the tail doesn't get too cold at any point. But what I'm gonna do right now, and I think is gonna be real attractive, is this move. This is gonna be the spine of the little fella. This is where I'm gonna start to put a little bit more color, and I'm going to put some of that bling in color too. So Brandon, would you actually take that size 2 white and put a line next to the other color, maybe on the left marver there, but the same kind of thing so I can lay it down? That's the size too right there. Yeah. That's one? That'll work. That'll work. Sorry.
On this side?
On the other marber so they don't mix at all. It's annoying because when I want to work on one side, you see how it's still moving right now. So I got to get under it. And I come here, it's going to fall back down the opposite way. But this torch action is totally going to burn away, very likely, the white. So when that white burns away, Brandon just put out some larger chunks of white, so he's going to have texture, spotted texture on his spine here. And then we're going to add a few of those bling in.
What are you going to do, lay it down on the color?
Yeah, yep. Turn this up a wee bit so I can get some serious juice here. Before I do that, I want to use the tweezers on them and get this real hot so I can just pull out a little bit of like dinosaur looking spine action. You know what I mean?
No, none of us know what you mean. But we'll find out in a minute. So you're just going to lay that flat on the marber and pick up those things.
Precisely.
Do you want a really narrow line, or you think this is okay, or what are you thinking? You know what I mean? This is a little wide. Is that all right?
Yeah, because I'm only going to have it torched. That's perfect, yeah. 'Cause I'm only going to have it torched hot in one spot. And if I get a couple like gnarly like birthmark chunks on the side of this guy, hey. He's not human, he's squid, but we've all got our chunks.
Oh, now that's making sense. There goes Zach zooming in.
Thank you, use that.
Getting the
glass to my
detail.
eyeball.
Good
Watch out
thing you
for
wear
that.
glasses.
That's cool looking, man. It looks like bone coming out of his back.
I love these shows because you get so excited.
That's why I love these shows too.
What's the sparkly color for?
Yeah, baby. What's the sparkly color for?
Yeah.
Some color. Can you slide both of those down closer to the marber? Because this one will probably work fine. But see how I got the tail? I can't really reach that one. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna give it a little more heat. I'm gonna start with the white first. Get the white on there. Kind of heating it up a little wider than the ridge that is put on there so we get some texture on either side. Here we go. How about, yeah, I'll do that one more time. It's looking good. Thanks, Brandon. Beautiful. That's really cute. And a little color. I gotta get a few more of those on there. I just want that to be subtle because then on the head, Brandon, when we do the head, we're gonna do all white just like you did, bigger, but we'll put a coat of that stuff on top of it. So his head's got all kinds of color and crazy coolness. Because aren't squid and octopus like some of the smartest things out there? Or is that just octopus? I don't know either. Folks, that's what we've got you all watching the show for with Goggle, our good friend Goggle. Brandon, could you turn down the furnace or the hole here just a wee bit? The white's super sensitive and it's getting burned. Just the yellow lever, pull towards you and cut it off just a hair. It's probably like half an inch, if not. That sounds good. Should have kind of heard a little difference in the sound.
A lot of yellow levers over there.
A lot of them. All right, I'm gonna take one more heat and get one more blast of color on here. You could probably start up that white bit, probably like this big.
Pretty big,
Yeah, 2 gathers. If you need 3, 2, whatever. That's better. It's pretty cool looking. What do you think, Zach? There it is. So you see that connection we've got down here on that clear patty. That's going to be hidden because if I let it lean on the table like this, it's on the back side, so a squid head's going to come off here.
The doors weren't open, I saw you drive by.
So Brandon's going for white body, white head. He's going to get spots of that color to match. And then we're going to get eyes in there. Mom, would you pull out some Marini eyes and put them on the paddle? The orange ones, transparent orange. So like 3 coats of white. That's the perfect size. Remember, after the color, do the pull off before you go for a heat. Beautiful. That's probably the only pull off you need. Beautiful. Thank you. Those are going to be the eyes. Pre-made, super layered, kind of like candy cane.
So too, when
Kind of look like a bunch of little bullseyes. We got different patterns, different colors, and
like, you know,
I had
whatever
my
you're
favorite one of the
finding
orange ones, so they're
interesting.
going to be orange eyes on this guy.
Yeah, and
I
then
want to see how the head's
you
connected.
just got to move
Actually,
a
I
little
got to
slower
open this
than you
thing up
think.
here.
You may know this, you may not, so that you're not giving them like vertigo. Oh, cool.
I forgot about
Yeah.
one move, so you might be a
That'd
little
be
bit ahead
cool.
of schedule.
Because we
gotta
have
use
that
the
one, but
side
I
thing
don't know
with
that
me.
it's a stabilizer. It's just the foam.
I'm going to open up the top here a little bit, and then we're going to place the ball onto the top. I think, actually, I might be able to just do a quick move on it.
I don't know if we need super, but we do need another one. Am I putting these in the garage, Jake?
Yes, on the paddle. And then we're going to need, so you could take that out, let that cool down a little bit, and then just tap some of those color flecks on there. Just as even as you can get it. Light taps, beautiful, it's perfect. Nice, it's awesome, I love it. Get that screaming. I think I'll be ready for you by the time that's ready to go.
Is that all the tentacles? Or what is
No, that's just the head.
Okay.
That's kind of the case that's going to hold his head right there. That's kind of like it's got to be some neck guard for his nerves and whatnot in his neck. We're going to do this one over the top. Yep, I'm ready. Beautiful. I think maybe the tentacles should be clear, with each one having a little bit of that color in there.
Gather upside down.
Probably just one gather. We'll do it over the top. I'll cut it and then shape it from there. And I need 1 sec. We're actually gonna put the eyes on first too. That went on perfect. That's an ice pack, folks. That's because it's 2,000 degrees in here. It's probably at least like 150 where I'm standing. And when the foam gets too close to all that bee's netch, it explodes. So we put ice packs on the foam. There's eye hole number 1, eye hole number 2. Whoever brings them, but we are gonna need probably a little bit of yellow torchage on them before they end up over here. So you could just pull them out and use a yellow torch lightly on the eyes, because they're just not quite hot enough yet, I know that. Awesome.
Yes. Yeah, they're not hot enough. So the two you want to point to Jake.
I see him.
You can
All
flash.
right, I'm ready
in the
when you
glory
are.
hole. Yeah. It's all right. He flashes in the glory hole.
Yep, sure. One quick flash and then bring it right over. Yep. Then just set it right on the
Set on
edge right
this?
here.
These two.
Thank you. That's good. Nope, nope.
It'll go away.
Any words of wisdom?
No, because I don't quite know what a squid looks like. But I'll do your first bit, and then if it needs adjustment, you let Brandon know.
Okay.
Yeah, you can start. So Samantha's going to jump in and Instagram it a little.
All right, I'm going to take one more look here at my picture because I got to figure this out.
You gave up on the squid thing now. That's to make it a fish.
It's pretty fish-like, yeah. With the spine on it and everything.
Are you ready now?
No, I'm actually going to take 1 second here to sculpt up the head. I forgot there's one groove that I want to put into this thing. Could you grab me the butter knife? Straight from the kitchen, folks. Thanks, Brandon.
And Samantha, you're fine what you're doing.
I'm feeling a little crazy. His head kind of separates down the middle. It kind of looks like a pair of nice, you know. Huh?
Huh?
This is sculpting, folks. Glass sculpting. There's no air in this. Wow, look at that thing. It does look like some kind of minnow with a big tail.
Watch your punty, color-wise.
Yes. Okay.
Clear.
Now I think it's tentacule time.
Um,
So I'm talking like this big and one like light, not a full coat, just like maybe tap on either side, two sides,
Right.
a little bit of color. No, the color. Maybe even just one side. Smack it on one side and then get her hot. Widest on the tip. So I'm thinking about the layering process of these tentacles, and you look down here, I want to, here's the angle. I want to start in the very middle so that I can build my way around. I'll probably do maybe 1 or 2 in the middle, and then try and do like 4 or 5 around those middle 2.
I think I did it a little big.
Beautiful. That's just perfect. That's all that is.
Flash it or no?
Just perfect. Yep, quick flash. This is a good one for the zoom here.
Jake's subtle hint, everybody.
It's actually a little bit big, so a little
That's what I
smaller on
thought.
the next ones.
Yeah. So I just tapped, Brandon, the color one. The next one's you. How many do you think?
I'm thinking probably like 6 or 7 total.
Okay.
Oh, baby. The trick for me is going to be letting this one stabilize before they're ready. This is the efficiency of glass blowing. And Zach, could you zoom on this color over here and take a look at this? Look at how amazing the color looks on the clear. Might be real tough to see, but this is going to be a glass squid, folks. Let me take a quick one before we do it. You can stay in there, though. Okay. Yep, that's perfect. It's beautiful. That was perfect. That was exactly what we need. I'm gonna need 1 sec to let this guy stabilize.
Okay. I don't know. We could Google that.
Give me 1 sec. I want to torch this punny to make sure it's not getting too cold down here. Shall we? Now that hot one just laid down on the side of another one. I wasn't careful enough. That's not really a problem at all because they are going to be touching each other, but it's not what I
okay.
planned, so now I know.
So if your Facebook feed froze, refresh your page. Every once in a while we have those glitches where Facebook cuts out. And that's fine. Just refresh your feed.
Thank you, Mom. Oh my God, this looks cool.
And if all else
Beautiful.
fails, it's on YouTube. After the show,
think we're actually
YouTube
good.
doesn't glitch, so
It's cool.
Zach, Facebook's still rolling on your
I
end?
think we'll get like 3 more on there.
Yeah. All right.
Nice. I think we're gonna do 2 more.
2 more. You ready now? Should I start?
Yep, you can start one up. Now I'm letting that one hang this time so it's not getting in the way.
Brandon, follow me this way.
take one quick one. Really good. Whoa. I'm not sure if we need one more. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. Give me 1 sec.
Could even use those ones like bent back to prop it up.
You're right. Standing on its tentacles. That's very true. I don't know, I think this is more of a on the wood type piece, mounted to the piece of wood. Swimming up and down or something. Look at that. I don't know how well you can see the iridescence, but that's a squid, folks. Let's take a look here. Not bad. All right. Well, I think that's that. Can't wait to hold this thing tomorrow. So it's got to cool down overnight, so once I get the final touch on it here, we're going to knock it off of the pipe, and we got to get it away nice and safe. I want to open these up a little bit more. It could very well. It's real close to be standing like that. And that's the way they stand, right? I mean, their squid things go down, so they stand. They stand in the ocean. Sounds good. Oh, baby. All right, how about a GA stamp, Brandon? The clear bit, I'll put it right on the back of them. The only thing I'm thinking about, it's not a lot of weight on the tail, but I'm hoping that it doesn't affect. Straight up and down. Okay, last standing check. He stands. Let's get it off of here. I'm gonna tap it on a paddle. Would you put up one of the big paddles right on there and we'll just torch the bottom of it? So a little bit of water where I want it to break. Hopefully we got everything lined up correct. Just gonna give it a light tap. Yeah, baby. We're gonna take this guy. Polish off his booty a little bit. Huh? I think I'm gonna just slide it.
Yikes.
Yeah, I know. With a little guidance. Will you grab this door for me?
Bottom right?
Top right. Oh yeah. He's in there.
Nice, dude.
Sweet. Sweet piece. That's pretty crazy, folks. That's a first timer. Is your mic on or are you muted? Okay. Well, yeah, that was a first timer. That was cool. It may have something to do with that amazing Netflix show that came out. Who knows? But it was a pretty cool piece. Nice job on the bits, Brandon. Thanks for the help, Mom.
What Netflix show? What did I miss?
Squid Game. No, it doesn't really have anything to do with that.
I
But
thought it had something to do with Red Wings.
nothing to do with the Red Wings, but it very well could. The Wings are about to have a season, folks.
Hey, check this out. I've got a marshmallow.
So yeah, what do we got going on here? You're roasting marshmallows?
You want a bite?
Oh no, thanks. We might see an octopus on the ice tonight, folks.
I'm going to hand this off. I don't know that this is going to be enough white, so does Brandon know how to heat up color? Do you want to start the second color, or you want to show him?
Yeah, you can heat that up and shape it up. It's going to be for like a trail, right?
I'll pass this off to you.
I think we did this one time before.
Yeah, with the blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing, just get it hot, shape it up to a nice little point on it.
So I will draw my thing.
I don't,
So Zach, pop over here. So these are the marinis that we've made for other things. These are the eyeballs for the slug, different products that we've made. We have this nice assortment here. This is like what the candy canes, some of the patterns we do. I'm gonna do a smaller version of a snowflake that we wanna do for holiday. So the finished item is kind of gonna have the snowflake in the middle. And what they're gonna do, they're gonna heat up this white and bring it to me. And we're gonna add these white strips like that. And then this in here is gonna get filled in with clear, which I should do another color, and then a layer of clear over the top, and then some blue on it. So, this is gonna take a lot of whites. They are heating up the colors. And I think I'm gonna take Brandon's white and make that the first, like this, flat one. And then you guys are gonna bring me like a side flat. So off the second hunk, you're bringing me 3 more, 4 more. I could do it 5, but I'm gonna do a 6-pointed one. So, yep, I'm gonna take it from you because I'm gonna squash it and stretch it.
about is that, or snowflakes, is that they're all one of a kind. Here.
Yeah.
It's all handmade.
All right.
So do you want to do that on a small pipe?
That's a good point. No, Brandon, one of the larger pipes up there, will you bring me a punny, and I'm going to cut this off and put it on a larger pipe. It's a fatter punty, you'll see.
Yeah, small gather, make a punny out of it. Learning the terminology, folks. I got a pretty large chunk of white here. This is different, obviously, it's a different color application than what I just had done on the squid. Squid was topical
After you flash, I will take it. Or actually, you'll bring it over.
So for pulling out cane, you want to have a stable connection to the pipe. So rather than working with a really small pipe and having the glass get hot and just fall off the pipe, now we're on a thicker pipe that's
I'm
going
gonna
to
trade you.
hold the glass on there strong.
So I want to flatten this about twice as wide as it is. And then your white might come in strips. Bless you.
See the kind of dance we're doing here. It's the glass blowing dance, the back and forth.
So I'm doing this smaller. I don't know, I guess it's not that small. I only bought one track out.
Experimental. We've never done a snowflake meringue before, so we're going to kind of see how it pulls out, and then we can adjust from there. I did place an order for 3 more rods of the same white.
So here's what I'm thinking, if you could look up a second. If you give me a trail, then I'm going to squeeze it,
Right.
and then we're going to put clear between the ridges.
So 2 on either side?
Yep.
All right.
You tell me when you're ready, because
I think I'll be ready real soon here.
so I need 3 more off of that bit.
Trail, just like I was doing with the squish, using those flat grips, pull that up taller and flatten it out.
So the baseline white is thicker, so in the future I might do a clear rod. We'll see. Do you know what I mean? Like that one thing is going to be really thick.
She cuts that off. I'm kind of hustling to get back into the heat and save as much core heat as possible. She's letting her heat stiffen up and become solid so we can shape it the way we want.
I didn't do that right. They needed to be in the middle, then cut in half and each side pinched. So this is the experimental show. Bring me one fat one down the middle, and then I'm going to squeeze it in 2 parts. That's what needed to happen. So if I do one fat one, I use the knife, cut it in half, then squeeze each half.
Got it, guys?
Well, no 2 snowflakes are alike, so.
That's right.
That's what it needed to be.
Nice.
So I do not.
See what's left over here. Anything that with clear. You're gonna put clear in between those?
Yes. So I kind of thought the stuff from the paddle would burn off. But it's not happening that way. kind of work. All right.
Save this. Always go a little further than where you see the clear. Always clear. Take it down. That's a little high. Taking your straight shears for now.
Could I have the torch wheeled back? Thank you. It's like a doctor's office. Someone wheel over the IV. We need oxygen over here. Thank you. It's like elephant ears or something, or like a weird mushroom. So, was it wax on the paddle?
Star form shape. We're going to fill up the crevices all with clear around it, and then we can pull it out super long and chop it down low. See that shape really tight. This is literally like they do with candy. Candy that have fingers inside of them, sticking out of the water from Australia. Perhaps.
That's who I wanted to tell you, Samantha. Have you watched Sticky Lollies?
Wow, it's pretty cool cane pulling, actual candy cane pulling. And this is just glass. The only difference is it's not like 200 degrees boiling, whatever it is. It's 2,000 degrees. It's glass.
Okay, so just like you did for the squid, size of my finger to fill up the in-between spaces. And you can go back to back. So you know what I should do is play with Fimo first and work through those details in my head because it's like Fimo. I'll just take it straight from the furnace. You don't even need to marble it. Okay, you're undone.
Almost to not trap air bubbles in between all of these crevices.
Go ahead and marble it more off the pipe. Stay there.
Nice.
All right, Brandon, when you're hot, I am ready.
And the last one.
No, I need 2 more. Thank you. So actually this and then 1 more, Jake. This is the last one. So the heat is a mess on this, and you can tell because some parts are orange and some parts are colder, like that. So now the trick is to roll it around and even out the heat. What was that? So then I'm also going to take a layer of clear on this to kind of put clear around the design, and then it's going to get a layer of blue on the outside. So it looks like some strange seed pod. And my other goal is when I gather to have more glass up here to fill in those little gaps there. This is usually the time on the Tuesday show when Jake's checking here's what they're saying. Here's what's going on. Samantha, if you want to jump over, I need to open my computer. You can read some of the comments and let us know if there's things people are asking. Brandon, can you heat this for a second? Just super goopy hot. My computer went to sleep and it has this like strange password that I would never be able to tell you, or I'd have to kill you. I'm teasing. So you can scroll the comments. I've got a pinned comment, but if there's anything exciting. Thank you kindly, sir. Oh, blown away.
What?
Blown away. It's a holiday one. Starts November 19th.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. My mic was muted for a minute there. That's what happens when tech support is actually a part of the show. We can't really tell what's going on behind the scenes. But I'm looking at a couple of the comments. Everybody looking great. Hope you're all doing well out there. We made a squid, and now we're on to some snowflake marini.
Because they are two products that work well together.
Squids and snowflakes. Squidward. little bit of SpongeBob action. That squid's got a little bit too much color. So she's lining it up. Are you gathering over that, or are we just pulling that right out?
No, we're going to gather over this. I'm going to do a thin skin to kind of hold it all together. So it is going to be bigger than I was expecting.
It's going to be a big boy.
So do you want to put more racks down?
Sure.
And I guess we'll do it right where they are. So the racks are a ladder. They're a wood ladder. And we're going to stretch this glass. It's super hot. It will get to about the size of a pencil. But I actually want some a little larger.
Oh, yeah. I got 2 more ladders coming in. It's going to be bigger than we thought. No problem.
And because I wanted them thicker, Jake, I don't know if we'll go the full length.
Yeah, we'll start with 2 like that and see how it goes.
All right, Zach, come on over. If you look at the end, you can kind of see not all the clear went to the end because the clear will also, the end is scrap. But when you look here, you can see there's white and then we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah.
It's really hard to read this on camera.
Well, let's see how it goes. You got the gather on it?
Yeah, you can't take it.
All right.
I saw that. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna do 1 gather on it, which is clear over the whole thing. So that's gonna cover up the exposed white that's like right there. And that will give a little breathing room before the outside layer, which is the dark blue.
Sounds amazing.
This is where when you develop new products, you test it out. And then the truth comes. Is your idea in your head able to manifest in physical form? It's a moment of truth.
All right. She's going for the gather. This is a pretty serious gather. This is encasing the glass. So that means she's got her glass completely solid and good to go, and she's going to gather a layer of hot molten 2000 degree right on top. She's cooling down the pipe so that when she comes out of the furnace, she's got more leverage. She can get her left hand up there a little bit higher. Is that door all right?
Yeah. Can I dip in that bucket?
Sure.
Great.
A little bit of extra glass. She lets it drip off, and then she's going to turn the pipe up. Because it's so molten, it's like honey. It drips off. And now you've got molten glass with the rest of the clear. But she's got a nice even gather on top now that she can shape up to make into this beautiful snowflake.
So I figure snowflakes are a water element. So this lapis blue is a really nice color to put over it. We have nippers, so we can nip one after.
I will grab some nippers.
Those. So I'm going to do a couple layers of blue. And that last layer is soaking into that inner core. This is solid glass. It is not blown glass. We'll be able to show you a piece. I am not concerned of like getting the color all the way on the bottom there because that's actually going to be scrap. And I can see I don't have color 100% on the bottom by the reflection in the frit tray.
Can you see that through camera? Oh yeah. See how that's got a layering to it? That's what we're making marinis. And so that was a thicker piece. You chop it down with the nippers afterwards and it creates all these little pieces. We want to have a bunch of snowflakes is what we're shooting for here.
So here's the other trick about this being the experimental show. If this is successful and this is a product that we're going to make, we're going to do probably 10, 15 more pulls like this to get the amount of product we need. So the first one's always clunky. So as a glassblower, you want it to be perfect. You're like, oh, this is going to be amazing. There's always, I've just learned, beginner's luck is cool. It totally works, but it's okay if it's clunky and weird too, because like anything with practice. Do you ever see them make like pretzels where they have the dough and like they're trying to teach someone how to make pretzels? And then there's always like that superhero that just grabs the pretzel dough and flips it into a pretzel in like 2 seconds. And you're like, wow, they make that look easy. I can do that. But then you can't.
So I'm going to be making a post here. So I've got on another solid pipe, just a nice gather of clear. And watch how I just let this fall onto the metal table, and I'm going to let it squish down nice and flat and let the metal pull a bunch of heat out of it. This is going to be a stable and cool base for her to drop the end of this on, and then we're going to pull both pipes in opposite directions.
Stable and cool. That is so cool.
Sometimes if she's ready to go, I can dunk it in water and get it ready to go.
So 1 or 2 more heats.
1 or 2 more heats, she said. So I'm just going to relax, make sure this is nice and
So the difference with this is we're not twisting it because it's not twisted snowflake.
Dunked it in the water.
It's just straight snowflake.
Yeah, so we can't twist it as we're backing up. We're just going to keep our pipes in line. We're going to flip one way. We flip back the other way. You'll see what I mean in a second. It's kind of even more difficult, I would say, than a twisted cane.
All right. Ready when I come out?
Yeah.
Can you...
Here we go. When was the last time you pulled cane, Mom?
It's been a while. Can you brace it on your foot?
Yep.
And just hold tight?
Yep. Here we go,
when was
folks.
The last time? Why, yesterday, Jane. Dun, dun, dun. This is where we need the sound effects kicking in.
Whoa. Nice.
Okay, your end up. So we could walk over. Okay, give it a flip.
Nice, looking good.
So the goal here is to pull out, I mean, I do want some thicker ones, but we're looking for like pencil size.
So let's
So
pull it
there
down
we
here.
need some blowing. Brandon, can you grab a notebook and just fan right there? Does that make sense? Right here, just fan
Yep.
back and forth. Yep. And Jake, go ahead and walk.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Beautiful.
Ah! Robin came over from shipping and she just decided to watch for a moment and
It's beautiful.
this is the battle of strength. So this is exactly what I wanted. Well, I can say the outside is what I wanted.
Yeah, we'll see what the inside looks like.
So I do want it thicker.
So let's just wait a sec here.
Yeah, because putting it on the wood,
We're probably going to want to chop this down and anneal it.
yes, absolutely.
Would you grab me a pair of tweezers?
Take 2 steps my way. Thank you.
She's going to break off the end, a little bit of water. Now she's disconnected, thank you, sir.
Yeah, interesting. So it's kind of a star. I mean, Zach, you can go in. I see where I need to fix the white. It needs to be on a thin core and then like all the other white bits because that first white bit was too thick.
So then what I'm going to do here is come down the line, maybe use some nippers, maybe some shears here. Break these down to smaller parts and we're going to put these in the annealer.
You can do it again later. They'll be fine, but
Leave it. You don't think we need to
Yeah.
anneal it?
no, I
Okay.
think you can leave it and we'll just re-nail it.
All right, we're going to let it cool down on its own. You usually want to anneal cane, regardless of whether it cools down on its own or not. You want to bring it back up in temperature and then bring it down really slowly because it's cooling down so fast right now, it's got stress within the glass. So even if it did last and it didn't explode and fall apart, we chop it down and we try and heat it back up like we did for the eyes for the squid that I just made. And they want to pop and explode a lot easier than if you regulate that cool down temperature.
So
So that's what we're going to do.
it's cute there.
Let's see. That is
No.
cute. It looks like a star. It kind of looks like a star.
It does look like a star.
Yeah, it's like a
I
5-pointer.
debated doing 5 points or 6 points.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a 6-pointer for sure.
Yeah, and so that was 6, but that middle one was too fat.
And maybe a clear
A
core.
clear core and then.
Yep. All right.
But I'm all right with that.
Yeah, it looks really good.
So much for doing it small. It's still got a lot. That's funny.
Well, it's pretty darn nice, folks. So I think that's the experimental show.
That is experimental.
Let's
show.
make sure before we close things up that my mic's on, folks. So again, share the show, folks. Spread it around and spread the love. We made a squid and we pulled some cane. That's a pretty cool, pretty different show today on the experimental show. We've got some plans for the show going forward and how we're going to tie our other shows in together that we'll explain over time. But if you want to see the finished squid and you want to see some of those chopped down and finished, join us for the anneal or reveal on Sunday. That's the next time we'll go live. We'll show you all the products we made from Tuesday's show, the products made from today's experimental show, and we'll talk about them all in detail.
And yes, we have something special coming for November that we're working on, so we'll release that on Sunday. The people on Sunday will tell you about that.
Lots of cool stuff. And Sunday,
time?
the
We
anneal
don't know.
reveal is kind of spontaneous, same as
random.
Thursday. Tuesdays is always 6 to 8. And if you guys have questions, reach out to us, go through the website, answer on Facebook, ask us on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you guys are at. We love the participation. We love you guys being a part of the show with us. And
Bada bing.
bada bing, bada boom.
I
I'm going
would
to
say-
close it out.
Yeah.
You want to maybe finish off on this sweet iridescent color that I use that
Yeah,
we
or-
barely ever use.
Zone
That's
in
going to
on
be
the
a beautiful
color.
close to the show. I hope everyone's got an amazing rest of the week planned out.